Humanity had always looked at the stars with hope and wonder. For centuries, humans dreamed of leaving Earth and meeting other intelligent life in the galaxy. The Galactic Council had promised guidance, friendship, and protection. Earth had joined the Council with trust. Humans sent diplomats, trade representatives, and scientists to learn from the galaxy's oldest civilizations. Among them was Jiho, a calm and careful diplomat who always put Earth's interest first. He worked closely with Hana, a wise strategist, and Yuna, a fleet analyst who had an unmatched understanding of starship patterns and alien behavior. For years, Earth followed the rules of the Council. Humans shared knowledge, helped in missions, and respected galactic laws. Slowly, Earth grew stronger. Human ships became faster and more resilient. Technology advanced quickly. The Council praised Earth publicly, but secretly became wary. Humans were unpredictable, innovative, and adaptable. They learned quickly. While the Council pretended to welcome humans, behind closed doors, doubts grew. The first sign of betrayal came quietly. Trade ships that left Earth for distant stations were delayed without reason. Some never returned. Communications from outer colonies started being ignored. Human scientists noticed equipment was being sabotaged, but no one took responsibility. Jiho began to notice strange patterns in the Council's reports. Numbers did not match, and official statements were inconsistent. One night, Jiho stayed late in the Council archives, scanning hidden files and encrypted messages. His heart sank as he discovered the truth. The Council had plans to destroy Earth. They feared humans would grow too strong, too independent, and too clever. Secret documents showed the Council had ordered fleets to be ready for a sudden strike against Earth. It was a plan for quiet extermination. Jiho knew that the news could not be kept secret for long. He immediately called Hana and Yuna. They met in a hidden chamber beneath the Council building, speaking in low voices. "The Council is planning to erase us," Jiho said, showing the files. "They think humanity is a threat. They will not wait." Hana looked grave. "We always knew humans were underestimated. But to betray us so suddenly, it is worse than we imagined." Yuna clenched her fists. "We must warn Earth. If we delay, even by a day, millions of lives will be lost." The three worked through the night, sending secure messages to Earth's leaders. Meanwhile, the Council moved as if nothing had happened. Delegates smiled and praised humanity in public, while secretly preparing their fleets. Earth received the warning. Panic spread briefly, but leaders quickly focused on action. Deep beneath the planet, hidden shipyards opened. Engineers, scientists, and soldiers worked day and night. Tezong, the commander of Earth's naval forces, took charge of the preparations. He was a tall, strong man, known for calm decisions in chaos. Beside him, Myra, a brilliant tactician, coordinated the fleet's strategies. Sunhee, an inventive engineer, worked tirelessly to improve the ships. They had no illusions. The Council's fleets were vast and well-armed. Humanity had numbers and courage, but raw power was not enough. They had to be clever, unpredictable, and united. Every citizen contributed. Farmers, technicians, and students volunteered to help in shipbuilding, research, and resource management. Even ordinary people became vital parts of the preparation. Earth became alive with purpose. Citizens shared stories of old Earth battles, history of survival, and the strength of human spirit. Every lesson learned from wars, betrayals, and disasters on Earth was now used to protect humanity in the galaxy. In secret, the fleet was designed not just to fight, but to survive. Ships had layered armor that could regenerate. Weapons adapted to enemy shields. Crews were trained to make decisions on the spot without waiting for orders. Humans studied the Council's battle patterns and found weaknesses. For months, the preparations were hidden from the galaxy. To outsiders, Earth seemed calm, obedient, and loyal. Inside, it was a hive of urgency, hope, and determination. Meanwhile, Jiho continued to observe the council. He noticed small changes in their communication. Some alien delegates started whispering among themselves, suspicious but afraid. Earth's secret strength was growing unnoticed. Jiho, Hana, and Yuna often met in the control center to plan next moves. Their conversations were careful, full of strategy and concern. One evening, Jiho received a coded message from an unknown source within the council. It warned him of an imminent attack on Earth's outer colonies. The council planned to strike before humanity could fully respond. Earth now had only days, maybe hours, to act. Jiho shared the news with the leaders. The council expected surprise, but humans had already seen the signs. Taesung gathered all fleet commanders and spoke. The enemy believes we are weak. They think they can destroy us in a single strike. They are wrong. We will not wait for them to reach our world. We will be ready, and we will fight not just for survival, but for justice. Preparations intensified. Mira adjusted battle strategies to account for multiple simultaneous attacks. Sunhee enhanced weapon systems and reinforced defensive shields. Yuna simulated battle scenarios against council fleets, identifying every weak point she could find. Each day, the tension grew, but so did determination. Then the attack came. The council's first strike fleet appeared near the outer colonies. Human outposts sent emergency signals. The council expected easy victories, but the humans had prepared. Small hidden strike teams intercepted enemy scouts. Ships moved unpredictably, drawing the council fleet into traps. Jiho, Hana, and Yuna watched from the command center as the first battles unfolded. Despite fear and uncertainty, a sense of pride and awe filled the room. Human crews fought with precision, courage, and intelligence. Every move reflected the training and unity of Earth's people. Colonies that were thought to be doomed were defended successfully. The Council's ships, though larger and more powerful, could not match the adaptability of humans. Each loss they inflicted was met with clever countermeasures. Each assault met with a stronger response. Night fell on Earth, but lights burned in every hidden shipyard and command center. Families, soldiers, engineers, and citizens stayed awake, focused on protecting their home. Earth had been betrayed, but humans had turned fear into action, hope into strength, desperation into strategy. The first part of the battle ended with a clear message. Humans would not go quietly. The Council's betrayal had awakened something powerful in humanity. Jiho looked at Hana and Yuna, their faces tired but resolute. "They think they can destroy us quietly," he said. "They are wrong. We will not just survive. We will make them see the strength of humans." The stars over Earth now held a promise. When the next wave of the Council's fleets arrived, they would meet not a weak, obedient planet, but a prepared, united, and fearless humanity. The galaxy had underestimated Earth. It was a mistake that would cost them dearly. The Armada was ready. Humanity had awakened. The Council believed that humans were weak and could be easily destroyed. They had seen Earth's population and technology and judged them with arrogance. They sent a small fleet, expecting a quick victory. Commander Taesung, however, had been waiting. He stood on the command bridge of the flagship, watching the sensors carefully. Beside him, Myra and Sunhee checked the final details of the ship's systems. Yuna had calculated multiple battle scenarios, predicting the enemy's moves. They were ready. The first sight of the Council fleet came as a shadow on the sensors. The ships were large, heavily armed, and moved with precision. The Council expected humans to panic, but the Armada remained calm. Taesung ordered all ships to take their positions, though they did not follow traditional formation patterns. Instead, humans scattered into small groups, moving unpredictably. Every ship was connected to a network of sensors and AI guidance, but the crew could make decisions on their own. When the battle began, the Council fleet opened fire. Laser beams and plasma bolts streaked through space. Human ships responded with shields and countermeasures, moving with skill and flexibility. Jiho and Hana watched from Earth's command center. They could see the battle unfold on large screens. The first clash shocked everyone. The human fleet did not fight like any conventional army. Ships sacrificed position to protect weaker vessels. Smaller craft distracted larger enemy ships, while hidden turrets hit vital targets. The Council fleet struggled to adapt. Their strategies assumed predictable behavior, but humans were clever and chaotic. They attacked from unexpected angles and vanished into hidden lanes of space. Every strike was measured, every retreat planned. Sun He had designed special engines for sudden bursts of speed and sudden jumps through space distortion, which gave humans a surprising advantage. Hours passed, and the battle continued. Losses were inevitable, but human losses were minimal compared to the enemy. Each victory boosted morale. On the command bridge, Taesung felt the pride of his people. Mira, standing beside him, was calm but intense, calculating the next move. "Enemy formation is weakening," she said. "We can push forward, but we must protect the civilians in the outer colonies." Taesung nodded. "We will split our forces. Half will defend, half will advance." The decision was risky, but it worked. Human ships moved with coordination that was almost instinctive. The Council's fleet, once confident, began to retreat. The word spread fast. Humanity was not easy to destroy. Back on Earth, people watched news feeds from the outer colonies. Their hearts raced with fear and hope. Fear of the battle, hope in the courage of the humans fighting beyond the skies. Meanwhile, Jiho received reports of other colonies being liberated. The Council had abandoned these systems to focus on the main attack, believing the humans could not reach them. Yet, Earth's fleet moved faster than anyone expected. Yuna's calculations had found shortcuts through the galaxy's natural lanes, hidden from even Council sensors. Ships appeared where they were least expected, saving thousands of lives. One particular colony, on a distant asteroid, had been left with minimal defenses. When human ships arrived, Council forces tried to attack, but the humans had already set up ambushes. Explosions lit up the asteroid field, and in a few hours, the colony was secured. The citizens cheered, and news of the success reached Earth. It inspired everyone to continue the fight. In the command center, Jiho, Hana, and Yuna discussed their next steps. "The Council is not used to humans being clever," Yuna said. "They think only in brute force. We can use that to our advantage." Hana nodded. "We must remain unpredictable, protect civilians and colonies, and hit them where they least expect it. Their fear will grow faster than their ships." Taesung coordinated multiple attacks simultaneously. Small strike teams targeted supply lines and communication arrays. Human ships moved in fast, precise patterns that even the most experienced Council commanders could not predict. The galaxy had never seen such tactical flexibility. Despite the victories, humanity paid a price. Some ships were lost, and brave pilots did not return. Every life lost was mourned, but their sacrifice was not in vain. Every move taught the remaining forces something new, improving strategies for the next wave. The Council tried to adapt. They sent larger ships with more advanced weapons, expecting humans to struggle. However, the humans had learned to anticipate attacks. Jiho and Hana monitored the Council's communications. "They are panicking," Jiho said. "Their confidence is breaking." Mira added, "They thought this would be an easy strike." They did not expect humans to survive, let alone fight back so effectively. As the battle raged, Earth's people worked tirelessly. Every factory, research lab, and training center contributed to the effort. Civilians supported military operations by providing resources, intelligence, and moral support. This unity gave humanity an unexpected edge. The Council underestimated not just technology, but the human spirit. Night fell over Earth, but the Armada remained active across the galaxy. Human ships pressed forward, rescuing colonists and striking key positions. The Council fleet was retreating, disorganized and demoralized. Every victory, every successful maneuver, proved that humans could not be easily destroyed. Back in the control center, Jiho looked at the battle progress. "They thought they could erase us quietly," he said. "They are realizing now that humans are not so simple to destroy." Hannah responded, "We have only just begun. Their fleet is still large, but their coordination is failing. We must press the advantage, but carefully. Protect lives and strike smart." Taesung gave the order to regroup and reinforce key positions. Human ships moved swiftly, striking at supply routes while defending critical colonies. Every move was precise. Each decision was calculated, yet flexible, adapting to unexpected changes. The Council's fleet could not predict the next human move. Hours turned into days. The Council began sending more fleets, but each attack was met with clever resistance. Humans exploited weaknesses in enemy formations, used speed and intelligence over brute force, and coordinated strikes that caused maximum disruption. The Council's confidence dwindled. Finally, after the first major series of battles, the humans had proven themselves. Colonies were safe, fleets were intact, and the Council was on the defensive. Jiho, Hana, and Yuna watched the aftermath. The Council had underestimated humanity. The first wave had been destroyed, and the message was clear. Humans were not to be taken lightly. The Armada had arrived, and Earth had shown the galaxy what humans were capable of. The Council had hoped for easy victory, but they had only awakened a powerful force. Humanity had learned to fight as one, to think creatively, and to protect what they loved. The galaxy would never forget that first victory. Taesung looked at the stars and said, "They thought we were weak. They thought we would fall. They were wrong, and they will learn the cost of underestimating humanity." The first battle was over, but the war had just begun. Humanity had survived the Council's initial strike. They had not only defended their home, but had also begun to reclaim control of the galaxy. The people of Earth were ready for what was coming next, stronger, smarter, and united like never before. The galaxy had seen only a glimpse of human strength, and it was enough to shake even the most powerful civilizations. The Armada was growing, and humanity's resolve was unbreakable. The Council was shaken. Their first fleets had failed, and news of human victories spread across the galaxy. Some alien species started questioning the Council's authority. Rumors of the Council's betrayal became harder to hide. Yet they tried to maintain control through lies and intimidation. They broadcast messages blaming human commanders for rogue attacks and demanded that Earth's fleet stand down. Jiho and Hana watched the broadcasts together. "It is false," Jiho said, shaking his head. "They want to make us appear violent and irrational." Hana's eyes were serious. "They are trying to confuse the galaxy. They want other civilizations to fear humans, but not question the Council. We cannot let them succeed." Yuna worked at her console, tracking fleet movements. The Council's fleet is regrouping near a major stronghold. They plan to strike again, but we can anticipate it. Earth's leaders decided to act. They would not wait for the Council to attack again. The Armada moved outward, liberating human colonies and protecting neutral worlds abandoned by the Council. Each liberation was carefully planned. The humans struck quickly, rescuing civilians and disabling enemy defenses before they could retaliate. On a shattered moon, Yuna discovered evidence of Council war crimes. Secret files, hidden weapons, and enslaved workers revealed the Council's true methods. The proof was shocking, even to those who had doubted the Council before. Yuna shared the information with Jiho and Hana. "This must be revealed," she said. "The galaxy needs to know the truth." The evidence spread rapidly through communication networks. Some alien leaders began questioning the Council openly. They saw the betrayal, the lies, and the human courage. Slowly, doubt turned into fear, and fear into hesitation. The Council was losing influence not just by force, but by the truth that humans exposed. Meanwhile, the human Armada faced fierce resistance near one of the Council's largest strongholds. It was heavily guarded, and many alien ships were waiting in ambush. Taesung studied the maps, thinking carefully about every possible move. "We cannot just charge in," he said. "Too many lives would be lost. We need precision." Myra suggested a risky maneuver. "We divide into smaller groups and hit multiple targets at once. It will confuse their sensors and forces. We can save civilians while striking key positions." It was dangerous. Many ships could be destroyed, and the human fleet was still smaller than the Council's. Taesung hesitated, but he knew it was the only way. "Do it," he ordered. The Armada split into groups, each moving in unexpected directions. Small teams hit supply depots, while others attacked communication hubs. Human ships moved fast and unpredictably. Shields absorbed the first waves of attacks, while engineers repaired damaged systems immediately. Civilians were rescued, transported to safe zones with military efficiency. The Council's forces were caught off guard. They could not anticipate the split maneuvers. Every attack the humans launched weakened their defenses further. Taesung coordinated through encrypted channels, guiding each group with precision. Mira calculated movements in real time, predicting enemy reactions. Yuna monitored energy and weapon outputs, ensuring every ship was ready for the next strike. Despite careful planning, humans lost some ships. Brave crews fought valiantly to protect others. Every casualty was mourned, but each life saved justified the risk. Humanity had learned to fight not just for victory, but to preserve hope and lives. Back on Earth, citizens followed the news anxiously. Families worried for their loved ones, but also felt pride. Messages of courage and survival were shared widely, spreading morale and determination. Earth's people understood that the fight was bigger than any single battle. It was about survival, justice, and proving the strength of humanity. Jiho observed the Council's reaction. "They thought fear would control humans," he said. "But fear only makes us smarter, faster, stronger." Hana nodded. "We have to continue exposing them. The truth will become their greatest enemy." The human fleet continued its operations, liberating systems, rescuing colonies, and striking at strategic targets. Each victory strengthened the Armada, providing new resources and intelligence. Human ships adapted continuously, learning from each encounter, improving tactics, and predicting enemy behavior more accurately than ever before. Taesung gave orders to defend the newly liberated colonies while preparing for the next offensive. The Council was regaining forces, and the humans needed to be ready. Each human crew member understood their role. Coordination, courage, and unity became the core of their strength. Mira's strategies worked well. Enemy ships, though powerful, could not withstand the unpredictability of human tactics. Every victory was also a lesson. Every defeat taught something new. Human ingenuity, combined with careful planning, turned the tide against the Council. Meanwhile, Jiho worked on diplomatic channels, sharing evidence of the Council's crimes with alien species willing to listen. Slowly, some allies joined Earth, motivated not by fear, but by justice and the truth. The galaxy began to see humans differently. No longer just a small, emerging species, Earth's people were clever, resourceful, and determined. The Armada became a symbol of hope and resistance, showing that betrayal and fear could be overcome with unity and courage. After weeks of operations, the human fleet returned to Earth briefly for resupply and coordination. Taesung addressed his commanders. The Council's power is weakening, but the war is far from over. Every move we make must be precise. Every life we save is a victory. Jiho, Hana, and Yuna continued to monitor galactic communications. Evidence of Council deception and war crimes reached more civilizations. Some alien governments openly opposed the Council for the first time. Humanity's fight was no longer only about survival. It was about exposing corruption and seeking justice. As humans prepared for the next phase, morale was high but cautious. They had won battles, saved colonies, and inspired allies, but they knew the Council would strike again. Humanity's resolve, however, had only grown stronger. They were no longer just defending Earth. They were defending truth, freedom, and the promise of a galaxy where humans would not be controlled or erased. The first successes had proven the power of human unity, intelligence, and bravery. The Council had underestimated humans, and this mistake would cost them dearly. The Armada had shown the galaxy that humanity could not be defeated by fear, lies, or brute force. They were adaptable, determined, and ready for the challenges ahead. The war was far from over, but humanity had learned its most important lesson. Even in the face of betrayal, fear, and overwhelming odds, they could fight with courage, protect those who could not protect themselves, and change the course of history. The Council's lies had awakened something powerful in humans, and now the galaxy would witness the strength, wisdom, and unstoppable spirit of Earth's people. The Council had shown its true nature. Entire systems were destroyed, not just to defeat humans, but to slow their advance. Civilizations that once trusted the Council now saw fear and cruelty instead of leadership. Humanity understood the stakes. The war was no longer about survival alone. It was about preventing tyranny from spreading through the galaxy. Mira proposed a bold plan to strike at the Council's central command. It was a dangerous mission. A failure could mean the loss of countless lives and the end of human influence. Taesung studied the maps and simulations carefully. He weighed every risk. "It is dangerous, but it may be the only way to stop them," he said. Sun He immediately began upgrading human ships, reinforcing engines, shields, and weapons to survive extreme conditions near the central command. Jiho, Hana, and Yuna coordinated the diplomatic and strategic aspects. They sent signals to allied systems, warning them to evacuate if necessary. The human fleet prepared to split into smaller groups, moving in unpredictable patterns to confuse the Council's sensors. When the attack began, the Armada moved like a single living organism. Small groups struck supply depots, communication arrays, and energy cores, while other units defended vulnerable colonies from counterattacks. Human ships adapted on the fly, each crew making independent decisions to achieve the larger goal. The Council fleet was caught off guard, unable to predict the human movements. In the heart of the Council's territory, Jiho accessed an open communication channel. He spoke directly to the Council leaders, exposing their lies and betrayals to the galaxy. Messages of corruption, attacks on peaceful civilizations, and secret plans for genocide were broadcast for all to hear. The Council leaders tried to respond, but human ships were already overwhelming their defenses. The truth, combined with a tactical assault, caused confusion and panic. Taesung led a daring strike against the Central Command's shield generators. Mira calculated precise attack angles to avoid unnecessary loss of life among civilians trapped near the command structures. Sun He's modifications allowed human ships to withstand energy surges and extreme space distortions, keeping them operational when others would have failed. The Council's fleet fought back desperately. Beams of energy and plasma sliced through space, but human coordination and adaptability were unmatched. Ships worked together seamlessly, supporting each other, covering vulnerabilities, and striking with precision. Even when some were destroyed, their crew's sacrifice contributed to the greater plan. Una monitored enemy signals, intercepting commands, and guiding ships around hidden traps. Every Council maneuver was anticipated and countered. The humans' cleverness turned the tide in ways the Council had not expected. With each passing hour, their defenses weakened, and their authority crumbled. As the Central Command's core was targeted, Jiho addressed the galaxy once more. He spoke not with anger, but with the truth. He revealed the Council's betrayal, their attacks on peaceful civilizations, and their underestimation of humans. Aliens across the galaxy saw the evidence, and many began to withdraw their support from the Council. The final clash came as human ships converged on the Central Command. Energy beams and weapons filled space, but human tactics kept losses minimal while maximizing damage. Sun He's enhancements ensured critical systems stayed operational. Mira's strategies guided attacks with precision, and Taisung's leadership inspired crews to fight bravely. The Central Command's shields finally collapsed, exposing its core. Human ships struck decisively, disabling communications and power systems. The Council was defeated, not only by weapons, but by the revelation of their crimes. Alien species that had once feared them now saw the truth. The Central Command fell, and with it, the Council's power collapsed across the galaxy. Humanity had achieved what few thought possible. They had overcome betrayal, faced superior forces, and brought the Council to justice. The victory was not fueled by anger alone, but by intelligence, coordination, and moral strength. Every member of the Armada had contributed to the success. Every civilian had supported it, and every lesson from past battles had guided their actions. As the dust settled, the human fleet regrouped. They had survived the ultimate challenge and emerged victorious. Jiho, Hana, Una, Taizong, Mira, and Sun He looked at the stars, knowing that the galaxy would never forget the courage, intelligence, and unity of humanity. The Council had underestimated humans, and that mistake had cost them everything. Yet, victory came with responsibility. The galaxy was in chaos, and humans understood that their actions now would define the future. They could take control through force, or they could help rebuild, guiding systems toward stability, justice, and fairness. Humanity had chosen the path of wisdom, showing that strength could be tempered by compassion. The battle against the Council had ended, but the work had only just begun. Humanity had proven that even when betrayed, underestimated, and attacked, they could rise, fight, and change the course of history. The Armada had struck decisively, showing the galaxy that humans were not to be controlled or erased. They were a force of courage, intelligence, and moral strength, ready to protect not only Earth, but the principles of justice and freedom across the stars. With the Council destroyed, the galaxy was in chaos. Many civilizations feared that humanity would take control by force, but Earth's leaders had a different plan. They understood the cost of war and the value of peace. The Armada withdrew from conquered systems, focusing instead on helping civilizations rebuild. Technology, food, and medical aid were shared with those who needed it. Humans demonstrated that strength could be combined with compassion. Hana and Una worked together to establish a new alliance. Its foundation was transparency, shared defense, and mutual respect. Civilizations once loyal to the Council were invited to join, contributing knowledge and resources. The alliance was not about dominance. It was about cooperation. Jiho traveled to various systems to personally meet leaders and share the story of the Council's betrayal. His words inspired trust and confidence. Taisong stepped down from command, believing soldiers should not rule peace. He continued to advise quietly, but allowed civilians and diplomats to take lead roles in rebuilding. Mira coordinated reconstruction projects, helping repair infrastructure and restoring communication networks. Sun-Hee assisted by improving technology for energy and transportation, ensuring that recovery was rapid and efficient. Throughout the galaxy, humans helped rebuild cities, colonies, and economies. The people of Earth worked alongside aliens, teaching and learning simultaneously. Every act of kindness strengthened alliances and earned respect. The Armada, once a weapon of war, became a symbol of hope and protection. While humanity had the power to dominate, they chose responsibility. They had learned from betrayal, from fear, and from war. Instead of seeking revenge, they focused on justice and rebuilding. Civilizations across the galaxy began to trust humans, not because they were the strongest, but because they acted fairly and wisely. Jiho reflected on the journey from betrayal to victory. "We were nearly destroyed," he said, "but we chose to act with honor and wisdom. That is what makes humans strong." Hana nodded. "Our strength is not just in our weapons of fleets, but in our choices. We protect, we teach, and we unite." Yuna looked at the stars, thinking of the battles and the lives lost. Every sacrifice was meaningful. We did not fight for power. We fought to protect hope and freedom. The galaxy remembered the day Earth's Armada arrived. It was a day of fear for the Council, a day of awakening for the galaxy, and a day that proved the resilience of humanity. Systems once oppressed, colonies once abandoned, and civilizations once silenced were now free. The humans had brought an end to tyranny, not through fear, but through courage and moral strength. As peace settled, humans continued to explore, trade, and communicate with new civilizations. They honored those who had fallen during the war, creating memorials and ceremonies across space. Every victory and every act of rebuilding was a tribute to courage, teamwork, and intelligence. The story of betrayal and survival spread across the stars. Aliens spoke of the humans' bravery, strategy, and fairness. Even those who had once opposed Earth now respected the species. Humanity's choices became lessons for the galaxy. Strength must be guided by wisdom, power tempered by justice, and courage driven by purpose. The Armada no longer needed to fight. Its presence alone was a symbol of protection and determination. Earth became a center of diplomacy, knowledge, and cooperation. Jiho, Hana, Yuna, Teizo, Mira, and Sun-Hee reflected on the journey, knowing that the galaxy had learned a vital truth. Humanity, though betrayed and underestimated, had risen not for revenge, but for responsibility, for justice, and for hope. In the years that followed, the alliance grew stronger. Systems once fearful of humans now looked to them for guidance in crises. Peaceful coexistence became possible because humans had chosen to lead with wisdom. Their actions reshaped the galaxy, proving that betrayal and destruction could be met with resilience, intelligence, and compassion. The galaxy would never forget. Humanity had been betrayed. Humanity had been attacked. Yet humanity had chosen to bring justice, peace, and hope. Earth's Armada had arrived and had changed everything, not by conquering, but by inspiring. The stars were alive with stories of humans who, when pushed to the edge, fought not for dominance, but for the freedom and survival of all. The legend of Earth's courage and the strength of its people would shine across the galaxy for generations to come.